What up, Bucs fans? We are back. It is Monday. Happy Memorial Day to everyone. And thank you guys for joining us for another live stream, Real Bucs Talk. I'm your host, Michael Plus. Join as always, Mark Ramirez. Mark, how has your holiday weekend gone so far? And
woo! That's how it's been.
There you go.
It's Memorial Day. It's a day to celebrate and just remember everything. Remember all those that actually have put their lives on the line for you. It's not just a go out to the beach, get drunk kind of day, which a lot of people kind of think of it as, but it's not at all. Respect to all those who have served and everything. Very much appreciated. But yeah, it's been low key over here. And again, it's Casa de Ramirez. All we're doing is watching little baby grow. That's about it. I'm watching them grow, get bigger and bigger. But other than that, I'm excited to actually talk some Buccaneer football. I mean, guys, get your questions in the chat. Let us know what's going to go on. But pretty much we're going to discuss the OTAs, everything's going on, the competitions of going on with these younger guys and the rookies. People talking about Joe Tryon when he hasn't even set foot on the field. It's just, we're talking football. This is fun, exciting stuff for us. But how was your little break, and are you ready to talk some football?
Yes, I am. I'm feeling great. I had a really good weekend. Watched, saw the Quiet Place 2. I thought that was really good. And then I watched True Detective today, and it's a really good show. So really into that. That's it's pretty good. So
is it a Netflix show or what is that?
No, it's on HBO, HBO Max. I watched it on there, and just pretty cool. It's got Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. So first season's pretty intense. So yeah, and Quiet Place was intense as well. That's a intense movie. Pretty good. It was just like the first one, but I thought it was a little bit better. There's a little bit more to it. So but football, that's why we're here. Talk some Bucs. Yeah, Bucs football. And it is it's underway. Off-season training has started. You know, the Bucs and Tom Brady and his guys are back at the facility, you know, after, you know, working away from the facility. Now they're working at one Buc. So a lot of good things. The rookies getting their reps in, you know, guys learning the playbook. So can't really complain right now. A lot of good things happening.
Yeah, well, let's kind of touch on that. So the big takeaway is all the rookies came in. I guess some people are amazed that Trask has an arm. I guess that was the big takeaway. He has no arm strength. Well, it is what it is. But let's kind of go over to Buccaneers.com and see what they were saying about our, I guess, newer additions and everything. So it's kind of cool. They did a day-by-day coverage of what happened at the workouts and everything. So a name you see a lot, Jalen Darden, continues to impress as much. Again, it's in shorts, but who cares? I mean, he's still showing he can do something, and he's showing the shiftiness, the route running, making miss ability, speed and space, stuff that you want to see over and over. I mean, again, this is a guy they traded up for. Again, 4th-round pick, Darden continues to press, blah, blah, blah. And so I guess touch on that. Touch on, I guess, Darden just getting his name mentioned over and over and over. Do you like it? Did you expect it?
Yeah, Jalen, I think is doing what we thought he was going to come in and do. I mean, obviously, him in shorts is definitely an advantage. He's a quick, fast guy. You know, defensive backs really can't put his hands on him right now. So that is good to see that he is impressing, catching the football, being that punt/kickoff return guy that we think he can be. So yeah, a lot of good things. And guys, if we just completed our rookie draft class film studies. So we have that all up on the channel right now. So if you haven't seen it, you know, be sure to, you know, subscribe to the Real Bucs Talk YouTube channel and find all the rookies. We have all the film studies on them right now.
Absolutely. And thank you yet again, Farouk Kawab, $20. What's up, Gangy? Hey, I love this stuff. I love getting to talk with you guys, interact with you guys. This is almost like our once a week kind of getaway, just talking Buccaneers, shooting the shit. It's fun. And always love seeing you guys in the chat, really getting to know you all through, I guess, text, but it's cool. It's always fun. Again, it's our 1 hour to have some fun, but thank you for the super chat. Awesome as always. And Bud Cannabis, which position do you think has the most competition? I think that 5th cornerback position. Before we get to that, I wanted to touch one more thing about Darden. I think that's also a huge position of competition. They're going to give Darden every chance in the world to be the special teams ace of punt return, kick return. But still, you don't just gift it to him. So there's going to be a position where we don't have a solid starter right now. So everyone's going to be fighting for it. Again, it's Darden's to lose, in my opinion. But Cannabis, about that fifth cornerback position, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think that is a position of a lot of depth, and it's going to be definitely a tough battle because you look at it. Obviously the first four are pretty much locked. I think you have Carlton Davis, then you have Sean Murphy Bunting, Jamel Dean, Ross Cockrell. I think those guys are pretty much staying. And then, yeah, the fifth corner spot is up for grabs with Herb Miller. You got, Cameron Kindly. Is it
Kindly or Kinley?
yeah,
Yeah.
Kinley, yeah, and then you also have some other guys that Chris Wilcox they just drafted.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of competition there. John, I see John Franklin's name on there. That's interesting.
Oh, highly have him too.
Yeah, are they going to put him at corner? So and then they brought in some veterans. You have like Nate Brooks, who's played some spots, and obviously they like Antonio Hamilton, but it looks like maybe they're putting Antonio Hamilton is another guy from Kansas City. So yeah, it's definitely a high competition, and really it's going to come down to who can play the best on special teams. And when we're looking at a guy like Chris Wilcox, who we just put up a film study on, he is special teams all the way. That's where they think he's going to thrive. It's really replacing Ryan Smith's spot. That's what they're looking for. And maybe they can get a guy that can do both, where he can play some corner and really play some good special teams. So Herb Miller showed he could play on the field, but now it's about, can he do it special teams wise and be consistent there?
Yeah, so it's funny, he took number 29 as well.
Right.
Chris Wilcox. He took number 29 as well. Like his number, it's funny. Just taking over Ryan Smith. Just jump in, take his place. I mean, like we kind of touched on it. That was our last review of our rookie, I guess, coverage.
Mm-hmm.
He fits that length, size, speed kind of thing that they want at corner. Does he really have the fundamentals to be corner starting right now? Hell no. Mm-hmm. Again, he's a 7th round pick. He's going to come in and try and win the gunner position immediately. He has a big uphill battle. Let's be honest. I mean, Nate Brooks, Curtis Riley, these are more experienced guys. And then you have Kinley, the Navy product, he got a lot of good reviews in that rookie mini camp. So, and he's another bigger guy. He's like 6'2", 200 something pounds too. So does he try and push him for it too? I mean, just because you're drafted does not mean you're going to be gifted a position. I mean, it's the same thing of Grant Stewart. I know we're getting a lot of high praise of him right now, but like, say Jack Sitchie is better on special teams. I think Grant Stewart's still going to be the dude. I mean, I like him a lot too. He's like a fan favorite already. The hair, the attitude, the never-ending motor. I love the dude, but I was just saying, like, this is a very competitive squad. I mean, it's going to be hard fought to make this team.
Yeah, I mean, you look at other positions like receiver, offensive line. There's a lot of competition there. Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller. Those guys are fighting for more playing time, and then you have Jalen Darden, fighting his spot with Jaden Mickens and these other receivers that they brought in. There's a lot of competition for not just making the team, but also practice squad spots. I mean, it's going to be very tough all the way around.
Yeah, Raymond in the chat, my boy, said, I'm pretty stoked about the draft picks. Good combination of potential, production, and depth. Again, I think we really like Jalen Darden. I think it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I like the potential of him being the guy catching the quick screen. I mean, Chris Godwin's been doing it in a good way. I think he could take it to another level. Like if you put Darden in there for a couple plays every now and then, disgusting. Or end arounds when you're expecting big receivers and all of a sudden this little darting Darden comes around the end. You don't even know where the hell he came from because he's 5'7", you can't see him. Like I like the potential of that big time.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. And, I see people in the chat talking about Giovanni Bernard. I mean, that's another, competitive spot at running back. We don't know if Gio is even going to be on the team, because
Uh,
you have Keyshawn Vaughn, who's they feel like is taking that next step up. And maybe he is, going to be a more important role, like have a bigger role on this team this year. So it just remains to be seen. That's why I'm very excited to have a preseason this upcoming year, which is nice. Just be able to see all these guys in action and see how the depth chart is going to come about. And it's a good place to be right now as far as the Bucks roster. So a lot of competition, really much everywhere, and that's what you want.
like you were saying, Farouk obviously can't wait to see Giovanni. Gio will do what's asked of him. Hyped, he's on board. I mean, he is a pass catching running back. That's what Brady loves. And I think that's what they kind of got for him there. Will he be the LaShawn McCoy kind of healthy scratch? Because, dude, if Keyshawn Vaughn takes a step up like Rojo did his second year, Giovanni's not going to see the field. I mean, just to be blatantly obvious, I mean, Keyshawn has fresh legs. He's a dog as well. Like this dude grinds. I mean, I hope he takes that next step so we can literally be like, holy crap, this is the guy that's going to take over eventually. Just he just takes it by storm and doesn't let go of it. I mean, Leonard Fournette, 1 year deal. Ronald Jones on the last year of his contract. Is Keyshawn Vaughn primed to push to take eventually that starter role? We'll see. But also Praj P is in the chat as well. But he's happy. Antonio Brown is back.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's
Loaded
official.
roster.
Yeah, official Antonio Brown back. So yeah, I know he's happy about that, and yeah, Bucks fans should be happy. Again, it's you have so many weapons to choose from. It's really good for Tom Brady and company, the offense, and it's going to be exciting to see how this offense operates. In the off season, going forward, training camp and preseason, and do they take that next step, or really just continue where they left off and become more than what they were, more dynamic and more efficient.
Yeah. So a lot of you guys, you saw our rookie stuff, but we're going to eventually be coming out with all the highlights of the season. And I was going through a lot of the tape, or pretty much all the highlights, but I went over all the games, and there was a lot of missed opportunities. There were deep balls that were Brady would throw. The guy was open. It was either they ran the wrong route. Brady thought he was going to go one way, went another. Plenty of opportunities that were missed where we still scored damn near 30-something points a game with ease. Imagine if those hit. I mean, there's times where they just ran out of bounds, 1 foot out of bounds, 1 foot in bounds. Scotty Miller, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, or just random little drops. Imagine if those hit. How easy is this offense if they start hitting? And you would expect that the second year around. Like everyone said, oh, Jameis, keep him. Second year, he's going to light it up. This is it. Well, what's going to happen now with Tom Brady's second year after a Super Bowl victory, second year under Bruce Arians' offense or Leftwich's offense? Let's see. I mean, you have some that say, oh, they changed it up because it's Brady's offense. No, there's still a lot of deep field shots all in there, all involved in there. Case in point, the Packers game. But I mean, I'm excited.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. And when you do look at the tape, yeah, there was a lot of missed opportunities. Just execution. It comes down to execution. I felt like as the season went along, we saw that the execution got better. It got more efficient and effective. And you saw that in the playoffs where they really took advantage of what their strengths were. The protections were better. Really, that's what it comes down to. Protecting Tom in the pocket, making sure he's got time to deliver and see where he needs to go with the football. And that happened often as the season went on. It got a lot better. Tom was just quicker with his decision making. And now, since he knows the offense, it could be very scary because he knows where to go in any type of situation now, especially with the weapons he has. He understands how to use them. He knows what their strengths are. So yeah, it could be very dynamic, and the way that they use Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, and people forget half of those guys were hurt, throughout the season. So Mike wasn't even healthy. Chris was hurt. So you have those guys healthy and you have a full season with Antonio Brown. Yeah. I like our chances.
Yeah, just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Let's keep going down the line about the OTAs. So another big thing that we kind of knew was going to happen. Rookie inside linebacker KJ Brit has been getting the green dot duties for calling the defensive calls and alignments. This is kind of something we kind of saw on tape. He seemed like a heady type of player. He knew what the offense was doing, knew how to align people. I mean, if you watch our film studies, you kind of know that. I mean, what's your take with KJ Britt? I want to see and anxious to see him in preseason to see how he actually reacts, because we didn't see much tape of him because of COVID, because of all this other crap. But what do you think?
No, I mean, from the game that we studied, obviously he was very intelligent. It seemed like he had his guys under control. He knew where to put people, and he was definitely a general out there. So yeah, I'm excited for KJ. I think he should be fine. He's a smart player, and again, he knows what he can and cannot do. From playing with his type of style, he likes to get downhill. Sort of same player with Grant Stewart. Grant, I think, is a smart player, but Grant he's just going to leave it all on the field just like KJ does. It's effort, and it'll be fun to see them on special teams. I think they're going to be a couple of the leaders, especially in that group as far as tackles.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to win somewhere. Like BA said, he is a football player when you see him. Like, I saw some of the pictures of him. The dude's kind of stout. I'll give him that. He looks that of a thick linebacker. I'll give him that. And then here's another big piece of news. Another one of our draft picks, former right tackle turned possibly center, Robert Hansey, has been working with new Bucs offensive assistant, former NFL center AQ Shipley each day. That's pretty damn good coach to be learned from. I mean, he just recently stopped playing. So it's pretty good one-on-one to be coached up with. What do you think about AQ Shipley looking at center, possibly all 5 offensive line positions?
Yeah, Hansey, I think that is a good transition for him. Obviously, when we did the film study, we thought he was going to be, interior offensive lineman, whether it be guard or center. And versatility, the more you have it, I think it helps. But obviously, you want to find a position where you can really make a strength. And I think Hansey would be a perfect fit at center. I think that's where, ideally he would be best suited for.
I mean, smaller arms, just not lengthy. Put him inside. Either way, he's a technician. Have him learn. He's not going to have to start right early on, so have him learn. Let's get back to the chat. So everyone's talking about Gio. Let's go. Raymond said Gio is part depth, part insurance, part upgrade over Shady. I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, true. Farouk Kawab with a good question. Out of all the wide receivers, who do you see not making the cut? Like we know.
Well, I mean, you can pretty much just say everyone except Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson, and Jalen Darden. I think those, and Antonio Brown, obviously. So those, I think, are pretty much your locks. Everyone else is facing a very tough battle, whether it be Justin Watson, Josh Pearson, Travis Johnson. I think that's another guy they like, but yeah, all those guys are really facing an uphill climb to make the team. And Jaden Mickens as well.
He's not even on the team, is he? Didn't they cut him because of that off-field stuff?
I think he's still on the roster. I don't think they've cut him yet, but obviously they don't show him here.
Yeah.
But
either way, that's 6 guys: Evans, Miller, Tyler Johnson, Chris Godwin, Terry Brown, Jalen Darden. Do you keep 7? And you would think the 7th one would be a special teams player, but Justin Watson, is that justifiable to keep him over, say, I guess Chris Wilcox and I don't know, one of these guys down here that'll be, hey, if he is that much of an ace, you keep him, but 7 wideouts, that's a lot. I would think that's your 6, and Justin Watson's going to have to be one hell of a standout in special teams to make the roster.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough because, also you have to know that, we're playing 17 games this year, so you're going to definitely want to keep extra guys at offensive line and defensive line just because of depth and injuries. So keeping six receivers is already, that's a lot. And plus you're probably going to keep four running backs because of injury concerns and, just the wear and tear. You'll have probably four tight ends, so there's just a lot of things, Do they keep two quarterbacks? That remains to be seen. Probably not. They'll probably go with three.
You
So
have to.
it just, yeah, it just, it really just depends on, positions and how much better a certain player is over another. Um, yeah, I mean, Raymond makes a good point. Watson could be on the practice squad. I could see that as a very good possibility. A lot of these guys that you think should be on other teams, they might make it to the practice squad. You look at like Patrick O'Connor,
Yeah.
you look at like a Khalil Davis, maybe they can sneak him on the practice squad. So a lot of these guys, and then you look at the secondary, Javon Hagan, is he going to be the fourth safety? So there's a lot of battles there, and we already mentioned about the corners, and then you have linebackers, and how many linebackers do you keep? Outside linebackers, do you keep a Cam Gill? Do you keep a guy like Grant Stewart because of his special teams ace? So all that comes into play.
Hey, so we're talking about this prior to the live stream.
Hmm.
We brought back Jack Sitchie. We forgot about Jack Sitchie.
Yeah.
So does Grant Stewart beat out Jack Sitchie? Right, younger, maybe not as injury prone as Jack Sitchie. Because either way, I mean, Devin White, Levante, are shoe ins.
Hmm.
Kevin Minter is usually the backup. Does KJ Britt kind of push him through? Either way, that's four right there if you keep those. Grant Stewart has to be an ace to make the team.
Right.
And Jack Sitchie, when healthy, is one hell of an ace. So it's there's competition everywhere. And then with that said, it's like there's going to be guys that we try and put in their practice squad. They're easily maybe not starters, but they're strong contributors in other teams.
Hmm.
And it just is to the credit of Light kind of making this roster this talented and guys wanting to stay. Like, who the hell knew, besides Proj P, that we're going to get Antonio Brown back? How did he bring all these guys back and fit them into the funny money of the salary cap? It's just crazy to me. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. And, that's why I always say like Thanos is more real than the salary cap. That's just one of my sayings. It's like, yeah, I mean, you could go into the Marvel universe and the salary cap could still be the bigger myth. It's crazy how how these teams, manipulate the salary cap and use it to their advantage. And, the good teams continue to find ways to stay good. And that's what the Bucs are doing right now.
Yeah. So also, guys, if you're in the chat or just on the live stream, give us a like down below. Please help us out, help support the channel. I know you guys enjoy it. I love the banter back and forth. But it's 2 seconds. Thank you very much. Now let's keep going. So this is kind of funny. So the fact that we're actually talking about this. Undefeated. That's being brought up. Prospeed, the confidence of going undefeated realistically.
Mm.
That's kind of something we've been touching on, or I touched on. Plus thinks it's impossible. And I mean, it is. It's really hard. But then Raymond kind of adds to it. You just can't underestimate the impact that TB12 has on this team. If it was another quarterback, even with the Super Bowl win, I'd be worried about the hangover. I agree. I mean, to be honest, let me make this one quick point. The roster it is in itself, we'd have to beat ourselves multiple times before another team can beat us. Unless it's a really good team where they're already set and they're a playoff bound team. But I'm talking like these games like the Giants game last year. I don't think that's going to happen again. I think the Giants are on the rise, but they were not a team that should have given us a challenge. And they did. It was a scare. We almost needed Antoine Winfield's flag, no flag to win the game. So, I mean, either way, it's just so damn talented and so much more continuity this year. I think it's going to be really close to actually getting to that point. What do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's impossible. Obviously, it's been done, and I think it can be done. You look at this roster, like you said, again, very talented roster. A lot of things have to go right, though. You have to stay healthy, and you really have to change how they attack, and that's from a schematic standpoint because we really can't do the same things we did last year because teams are gonna, they're gonna have tape for that. They're gonna be prepared for it. So we have to be smart in how we approach, week in, week out. Not saying we change everything, obviously we're going to do it better and we're going to be more effective as far as our execution. So really, in that sense, we should be better. A lot of people were saying like the Super Bowl should happen this year, not last year, but
Yeah.
it came a year early. So, um, hold on one second. I got to block somebody. Let me do that.
I gotta block somebody.
All right, there we go. So sorry, I had to do it. That was unnecessary. But anyway, like I was saying, it's definitely possible, Tom Brady and having him and being healthy with all the weapons that we do have in offense, having an OJ Howard, hopefully for a full season. Pray to God, pray to
Yeah.
Jesus. Yes. All right, let's do it. And then you look at the defense, which I think is really the strength of the team. And a lot of people don't look at our defense as being as strong as it is, but it's really strong. I mean, you just held the Chiefs to 9 points in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. And it's a really good defense, especially when you got Vita Vea in there in the middle, and hopefully he stays healthy. And so, bottom line, overall, long-winded talk there, but yeah, this team's really, really, really good. And yeah, anything is possible.
And I guess that was going on because I guess Project P said cute that Mahomes says he wants to go to undefeated. He knows he won't catch Brady, and that would be the only stat would be up one on Brady, but it ain't happening. Bucs go. That's probably why. And then the next question came up.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is. Farouk Wab, would you rather have a three-peat or one undefeated season? I want both, or all three. Forgive me. I think anything is possible, yes. And then Chris over here says injury possibility and resting players will keep us away from that. And very true, very logical points.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, it's a sport where everyone's running into each other, almost trying to inflict pain.
Yeah.
So
it's very tough because and Chris makes a good point. Like once you get to that, 15-0, 16-0, and you already have like the number 1 seed locked up, like it doesn't make a lot of sense to put your guys at risk. Obviously you want to keep the rhythm going. You want to keep that, continuation of execution at a very high level. That kind of cost the Bucs, I believe, back in the 07 playoffs when John Gruden decided to rest some guys and we kind of lost our rhythm. And then we faced the Giants that in that wild card game and got our asses kicked. So, there's always, it's that 2020 hindsight, do you rest or do you continue to play? The Colts, I think the Colts had this situation. They weren't they like close to being undefeated?
Manning,
What?
with Manning, Wayne, and Harrison that way back when?
Yeah, I believe they had a chance to go undefeated. They decided to rest some players, and I think it actually benefited them, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl that year against the Bears. Then obviously the Patriots, they came so close.
Yeah.
So I understand the drive from where Brady's coming from. He wants to get that perfect season because he had it right there in his hands and just couldn't beat the Giants in that game.
Yeah, he's not going to have to face the Giants in the Super Bowl this year. I'll say that. But new to the chat, love seeing it. Jonathan Stone says, "Imagine Brady and our weapons in a no huddle this year." And thank you very much for the super chat. We are very much appreciative. And again, welcome to the chat. Plus, I'll let you take it.
Yeah, no huddle. I think that's something we're going to see as well. Again, we couldn't really do it a lot last year because we're still learning everything. I mean, Brady was looking at his wrist so many times because he didn't know the plays, and so now he knows the playbooks. Yeah, doesn't know what down it is, and he was just pretty much freelancing out there for a long time. So and then the bye week came and everybody was saved. So Yeah, no huddle, I think, would be very fun. You could definitely see that this year, just to mess with teams and get them off rhythm and take advantage of your weapons. I mean, quick screen to Jalen Darden, and then you run a no huddle and, you know, throw a deep bomb to Scotty Miller or something like that. There's a lot of options that they have at their disposal.
Because now think of it this way, like he's mentioning, imagine how crazy this is. So Brady, he already knows the ins and outs right now. Like he's the one probably telling Kyle Trask, this is how this offense works. Imagine him getting to the line, seeing it the way he sees it. He can literally be making the schemes with Leftwich on the sideline prior to going out there. Oh, I'm probably going to do it this way, this way. What other things could I add? Not necessarily thinking, oh, what am I supposed to do? It's more, how many things can I do to dominate against this defense? I could run to the line. I can hike it myself, fake pass, draw. I mean, there's so many options he has that it's just creativity all around. And then you don't know. Like there's so many mismatches across the field. I mean, you have pretty much 4 number 1 options on other teams. And like Godwin, Evans, Gronk, and AB. Mm-hmm. All 4 of those guys are number 1. So it's crazy to think to pick your poison on this on offense. And if it's no huddle and you're having to cover that many good talented players, then we can kind of shove them in and out. That's crazy. Yeah, I agree with you. It is insane. Last year we said the defense is probably going to carry us. The offense should be able to just outscore, to be honest. Like they're that talented and good. And imagine with that in a no huddle. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. No, I was just going to say I agree. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Just the balance of our team. They should be able to, help each other consistently, whether it's the defense helping the offense helping defense, special teams doing their part. It'll be very complementary football, and that's what makes us very dangerous going into this year, because we really shouldn't see games like you said earlier. We shouldn't see games like the Giants or the Bears from last year. Really, us beating ourselves. I don't think that's going to happen. And hopefully the penalty issue, I think, is in the past. And obviously protecting the football, I think is, that's just going to be a thing. That's what we do now.
It's always going to pop up. I guarantee there's going to be a little stint throughout the season. Like Bruce Arians always says, there's ebbs and flows for the season. There's going to be where they're going to probably think, oh, we're on top. We're Super Bowl champs. And they just look like a dud and somehow come away unscathed because, again, I'd say it's such a stacked roster where it's going to be hard for them to lose games,
right? Let
alone win games. So I think there's going to be times where Brady is going to light a fire in their ass, be like, this shouldn't be. We're looking for, to be honest, there's rumblings of him saying the undefeated season. I think he's going to put that in their mind. Listen, let's prove to them that we're this damn good. Let's make it known forever what this team can be. You have Devin White as a leader on defense, Levante David. Those are 2 powerful guys that will light a fire in the defense. And then Brady, who else is better on offense to light it up? So I don't think it's unrealistic to talk about it. I know it's scary to mention because what if they do lose one game and all of a sudden, they come crashing down because of one game. At the end of the day, you want to win the last game, but I do like the entertaining aspect of going undefeated. And I hope it can come true. We'll see.
Right. And you speak of Devin White, I just got to say he is the fastest player and probably on defense and maybe all of NFL. I mean, he's like Tyreek Hill fast. That's impressive, especially at his size. You can't teach that.
250 running that. It's disgusting. Again, watching his highlights, he's a damn baseball on the field.
Yeah, he's going to get 10 sacks this year. I mean, came close last year. I think he gets it.
It's crazy. Yeah, again, what if he takes another step up and his coverage gets better? And he gets interceptions.
Will. I mean, we saw it.
Right? Like I was blown away, honestly, how good he was in coverage in the playoffs. That Saints game and then the Chiefs, like, what the shit happened? Like, he just said, what am I doing? Let me fix this part of my game. and just night and day different. Crazy. Devin White. Just keep proving them all wrong. And no one's even mentioning, like, I think I saw PFF had him as like the 25th ranked linebacker. 25th. That's funny. That's funny. We'll see. I think he's going to be one of those that are near the top about defensive MVP. He is that damn good. Defensive player of the year. Especially if he gets 10 sacks, 5 to 6 interceptions, 100 tackles. It's hard not to put him in that running. Let's keep going in the chat. Love this. Loud and proud, guys. I love it. So Farouk Wab, I see OJ breaking out this season. Do you see that?
I hope so, man. I'm ready for it. We need OJ Howard to be what everyone expected him to be, and it seemed like he was on his way. Definitely on his way to breaking out last year. So just gotta stay healthy, man. You can do it.
You can do it. I agree with that sentiment. I mean, he's got the talent. He's got the playmaking ability. Stay healthy. But that's what ruins careers. Like at Justin Evans, like at Kendall Beckwith, injuries can bring you down that way. Will our defense come out the gate able to shut Dallas down? Charles Scott, nice to see you in the chat.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's going to be a fun matchup, that opener. And obviously, I think that would probably be the scariest game as far as us going undefeated, because, again, you're getting back into the swing of things. Week 1 matchups are always the toughest, and you always have those upsets that you don't expect. So should be a fun matchup, going up against their team and Dak Prescott obviously coming back. Defensively, we should be able to score on them because they don't have many people on defense. A lot of youth back there in the secondary, so we should be able to dominate in that fashion. And obviously we have to block DeMarcus Lawrence. And other than that, I think we should be okay though. But fun matchup for sure. Could be a shootout. But again, their offensive line has been like, so our defensive line should be able to get pressure on Dak Prescott.
Stop Zeke, make him one-dimensional, and then Dak Prescott first came back after one hell of an ankle injury. Holy hell!
Yeah, wow. A lot of blitzing. So
blitz all night. But yeah, they do have every offensive weapon known to man. To be honest, there are 3 wide receivers too.
Yeah, so, very talented receivers. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and then they always had CeeDee Lamb. So yeah, so a lot of good receivers there.
Well, to me, I'm saying looking more at that Rams game. Game's the one that scares me.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is just it's that first game. Not everyone's at their best. So obviously you have some opportunity for upsets. And you look at last year, our first loss was week 1 against the Saints. We weren't ready. But now, going into this season, we could have that chance to start on fire, have that opportunity to get that fast start.
And let's not all get a big head. I know we're talking an undefeated season. Let's just start winning.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, let's get one first.
Right. Yeah.
We're looking a long time away too.
Yeah, we're looking for consistency, and that's something you can expect from Brady and Bruce Arians led team. And yeah, really, right now we just got to stay healthy. That's the key. Get through training camp, get through preseason, and really get your identity going again.
This is a good question or a good statement here. Vortex, he said our coverage wasn't great last year. Definitely should improve this year. So I mean, I'm thinking he's talking about SMB. Sometimes he literally would be abused. So I think he was injured, just not fully healthy out there running. I think Todd Bowles even said it recently, saying how some guys learned how to play through injuries. I think that's the dude he was talking about. Jamel Dean, at times, you're like, what the hell's going on? Come on, turn it on. The only consistent player was my dude, Carlton Davis. But, I mean, our secondary covers, he says, should improve this year. Do you think it will improve to that point, like to a point where we consistent?
Well, I think again, it's all about the front 7. So if you have Vita Vea in place, the secondary is going to be good because that pocket's going to be pushed all the time. So really, when Vita went out, we saw where the secondary issues started coming about. But yeah, those players individually, they should be better. I think the roles are more defined, and you have Antoine Winfield, who's going to be even better. And then, Jordan Whitehead, if he can be healthy, and Mike Edwards, the rotation of those three, I think it's definitely going to be more improved. And I think guys just understand the defense. I think it clicked, especially late after the bye, guys knowing where they were supposed to be at all times. So yeah, the secondary should be, I think, fine because guys are going to be doing their jobs. And then also the linebackers, I think in coverage, we talked about Devin White knowing where he's supposed to be. That's going to help your secondary.
Yeah. And again, it's the rookie Antoine Winfield, now second-year player. I think he's going to take a massive step forward. That's what I honestly think. I think he's going to be one of those guys you're like, holy hell, now he's becoming almost a star, so to speak. But I guess I butchered this. They were wanting to know special teams coverage. So special teams, yeah, there was an area where we weren't that good. Ira Kaufman always touched on it with BA prior to the Saints game, saying they always had our number. BA kind of laughed at it, but then they did have our number like every damn game. Special teams would have a big return or something. So do you think we're going to improve in that?
Yeah, no, I think we will. I think we've gotten faster. I think we've added, good speed to the team. And, special teams coverage, I think should be improved. It's, it definitely needs to be better, more consistent. The punter, Bradley Pinion, I think can be better. So yeah, all those things go into it. The return game, I think, should be improved, hopefully, with, the addition of Jalen Darden and, the guys that we have to be gunners, I think is a good group. So yeah, I expect it to be better.
To me, I think the gunner situation was big because there was a time where was Ryan Smith hurt or was he out because of suspension?
I think he was out because of suspension.
Right.
And yeah.
We did not look good at all on coverage when he was not there.
Right.
And like you'd always see him, you wouldn't see the other gunner. And I'm assuming the other gunner was Justin Watson every time. And I'm like, they talk about him like he's some big ace, but I'm like, I never really saw him make many big plays on special teams, if I can remember. So who does win those gunner positions? I mean, when Keith Armstrong was asked that question, he mentioned all the cornerbacks. He didn't really mention Jay Watt.
Right.
I know the team likes Justin Watson a lot, but I mean, I honestly think you're going to see two new gunners. And yeah, they said they wanted to get bigger, faster in special teams. I think KJ Brit will be playing that. Grant Stewart, if he makes a team, would be a huge contributor to that. Just get guys that are willing to fly to the ball. And I think those are them. We just got to see it. That's why preseason is going to be huge. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I think, having, Kevin Minter and obviously KJ Britt, and then, having guys like, Ross Crockrell and, even Sean Murphy Bunting and Jamel Dean, those guys are going to play some special teams. And you have Chris Wilcox, who I think can be what they're looking for, obviously. And then you look at the safety group with Javon Hagan is another guy, Mike Edwards, all those guys are going to play special teams. And, even Jordan Whitehead, he loves special teams. He's out there a lot. So yeah, I think they have the right mix of guys. And even Joe Tryon playing special teams. I think that's going to be really awesome because getting his athleticism out there, that's pretty special, have guys like that. So should be good.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Joe Tryon. So like we didn't mention him in the takeaways over here, but it's because he's not practicing. He's still recovering from that knee. It's a minor injury that he had. They got scoped out, but again, he's a physical specimen. He's great to look at. Yeah, jacked, tall, dark, and handsome. I guess they call him, but once you see him on the field, like you've seen our film studies of him, he has a lot that he can bring to the team, and not just in pass rush. He can drop back. He can do it all. again, another area of preseason I would love to see, and just more competition, like you mentioned earlier. So Joe Tryon, yes, our first round pick. All you could see him was in shorts and sitting watching. But either way, I'm anxious. I am anxious. And then some more, I guess, love for J Watt over here. Thought it was Justin Outroute Watson, Justin pick six Watson.
Yeah.
Man, Rob Dunlap in the chat. It's yeah, I don't. The fans don't like Justin Watson. I think the Bucs really do like him because he sticks around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Rick over here, is Jordan going to be our return man?
Yeah, I mean, right now he is the favorite, but yeah, it just remains to be seen. And Justin Watson, I think it's just his time has probably run his course. And if he does get an opportunity elsewhere, I think that'd be really good for him. It feels like it's that time for a change of scenery for him. But again, he could surprise us. Like you said, he finds a way to stick, and if he is really good on special teams, maybe he makes the team.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I think everyone knows our stance on Jay Watt, but we'll see. Jack, thank you very damn much for the super sticker. You're always involved. Love it. I see you in the comments all the time. Love it. Always involved.
Yes. Thank you, Jack.
Let's go, Charles. Charles, you're back. Could Tryon push or replace split time with Will Golson? What you think?
I don't know about with Will Golston. Obviously Will is going to be playing more, 5 tech. He's going to have his hand in the ground more, playing more of that. Him and Anthony Nelson, I think that is where you want to see maybe someone push Will Golston. Yeah. I think that's where Nelson's spot is going to really shape up or take place. He's going to be that more, inside type of player, not standing up as much because of the addition of Joe Tryon. Tryon's going to be that outside linebacker guy that stands up on the edge and really play behind JPP and Shaq Barrett.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. I mean, Tryon can go move inside at times, but on passing downs, you wouldn't want to consistently see him in there.
Yeah.
It's just play them to their strengths. Like JPP goes inside. Does he do it consistently? No. He does it on third downs or times where we need to get after the quarterback. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so I agree with you. It's just Will Golson, he hasn't been a mainstay. Like there's been a lot of times where teams just cannot run against us. Not just because of Vita Vea, but because Golson and Sue are sitting there just blocking the line. There's nowhere to go. And that just leaves holes, like you were saying, the front seven just to attack and fire at all cannons, like at all cylinders at the quarterback or the ball carrier. I love it. I can't. Mm-hmm. Guys, like the front seven on the Buccaneers is insane. Like just when you worry about our coverage, plus said it, Vita Vea makes it. We mentioned this last year in the beginning of the year when we did our film study on him. Vita Vea is the beginning and end of our defense. Literally, when he's out, it's a total different team. When he came back, we're like, hell yes. It's like, this is it. It's going to be dangerous. He's a whole other animal. Stay healthy. That's all we're going to say. Mm-hmm. Rob, he had a question. I wouldn't rule out Procise as a return guy if he can make the roster on special teams. I mean, that's CJ Procise, right?
Yeah, sorry about the running back, CJ. Yeah. So, I mean, again, that's another uphill climb for him. He's going to really have to do something special in the preseason to make the team. So,
oh, this is funny. When's the next backyard?
Oh yeah, backyard edition. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure on that one. Usually we save those for special occasions. Obviously, for the playoffs, coming up this year, hopefully we can do more of those. I'm not sure if we're going to do anything like maybe before the season starts. Maybe we can do one for, maybe a preseason game or, something along those lines. I don't know.
It's just so damn hot. It was so cold outside. We could actually take it. Right. It was cold. There was no flies. It was awesome. Yeah. But now it's so damn hot over here.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be tough during, especially the early months. So yeah, maybe we can find a way to make it happen. Maybe, since the last preseason game's on the road, maybe we can do something for that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Preview, the upcoming roster. I don't know. We'll think of something.
Could be in the cards, right? Could be
Yeah.
there. Yeah, Vortex, we kind of touched on that. We're bringing Joe Tryon in for third and longs. I agree. Uh, so where is this? Raymond. Bottom line, this year the Bucs will cut some players that will be snatched up with the quickness. Yeah, we touched on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually a good question. Vortex said, "Do you know how the tryout running back Pope looked? That's a little stocky guy. I think he came from the Cardinals."
Yeah, Tremaine Pope. Yeah, I mean he's on the team right now, so obviously he made some type of impression. I'm not sure really how he's looked, but yeah, he's another guy to look out for.
So I looked him up when he played on the Chargers. He's almost like our Tanner Hudson. He kind of showed out in preseason a lot. It's just kind of hard to make the roster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, another battle. I mean, 4 running backs deep right now. Add him to the competition. Again, iron sharpens iron. Is he going to make the team? Most likely not. There's just way too much talent in front of him, and just talent and just what's it called, experience. So it's kind of hard to knock all those guys out of the way. And then you invested a 3rd round pick in Keyshawn Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
And he's progressing. We shall see. Let's see. Agree, Vita Vea is a beast. Love to have him for full season. He's a main cog to make our defense dominant. Yeah, it truly is the reason about why this defense goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, my man, he made it. Danny Danilo. What up, man? What player on offense and defense, not TB12, will be the biggest positive factor this year? I got Bernard and AB on offense, Shaq, White on defense. What you think about that?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with OJ Howard on offense, and on defense, I'm going to go Levante David.
So I like your pick of OJ Howard. Damn. I agree with you that on defense. I'm going to go Antoine Winfield. Again, I'm sticking to it. I think he's going to take that other massive step forward.
Right.
And those heady plays where he was almost there, he's going to pick them off this time. Especially if the front 7 stays healthy. The things that dude can do, as a rookie, he was all over the field. Imagine now he knows a step more this way, I'm going to get my hand on that ball. Be prepared. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
So Charles, again, I think AB will lead the team in receiving yards. Wow, really? Over Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Ooh.
Well, I mean, he's gonna have a lot of. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have a lot of one-on-one opportunities. So yeah, there's definitely a possibility for that. And the chemistry continues to grow between him and Brady. Yeah, I think it's any of that is a possibility. You could have all any one of those guys could lead the team in receiving yards. Mike's going to get his. Godwin's going to be a factor. So I don't know about leading the team in receiving yards, but I think all of them will be very productive. And don't forget about Scotty Miller. Just Scotty. He's so underrated, and his ability to get one-on-ones and get touchdowns too. He could be right there.
Yeah, I like how everyone in the chat is saying they're 2 guys too. Rob Dunlap said Godwin and Vita Vea. Godwin offense, Vita Vea on defense. German English, Mike Evans offense, Devin White defense. You can't go wrong with that. I'll say that right there.
Yeah.
I have Mike Evans highlight video ready on deck to go out. So if you guys, whoever shows up the chat or the live stream, who's coming out. So be prepared. The dude's real. There's a reason why he's so damn consistent. He's always doing 1,000-yard seasons. Again, that's why he probably will lead the team in receiving yards again. He's too big. He's too physical. He's smart. He's a tremendous route runner. I still can't believe that he doesn't get mentioned top 5 receiver in the league. Insane. But talking about the receiving yards, I almost think we have too many good receivers. I was going to almost say we possibly could have 3 guys over 1,000 yards. I don't know if that's ever been done. I think there's always been 2, but I don't know if there's been 3.
Yeah.
It is possible.
No, definitely possible. Yeah, I could see that where it could be that balanced and especially with the execution and the offense being where it is. I will throw out a wild card name for productive offensive player. I'm going to say Donovan Smith. I think Donovan. I think he's going to turn the corner, and I think he's going to gain a fan base and a positive one.
Just dropped out. No, I'm joking.
I know. But I'm saying Donovan. I think he played really well in the second half of the season, and I think he's going to really continue to just get better.
I hope. I think his level of play is good enough. I'm never going to say he's Pro Bowl material.
Yeah,
I think he's good enough.
He's consistent. I think he's gonna continually just be that guy that we can count on, especially at the left tackle spot.
I agree with that sentiment a lot. That's what people think of when they think of Donovan Smith. Him falling. We did a film study on him last year. It was funny. Like, I put all the bad stuff first. People thought I was going to be talking bad about him the whole time, but no, what we saw came to fruition. A little bit of bad, but he's consistently doing the right stuff over 60-something plays a game, and that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive lineman to win majority of the time. We're going to need him to, plus. Yeah, and he did. He did in the playoffs. He stood up when he needed him most. So, What's wrong? There's only been 5 teams in NFL history with 3 1,000-yard receivers. Would be pretty special. So, I was going to add to this. That's crazy that's that high. We almost have too many good receivers to have 3 hit it.
Yeah.
Because possibly 1, maybe 2 would do it. But still, you're having to feed Gronk, AB, Evans, Godwin, Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson, Cam Brait. A lot of mouths to feed. I mean, none of them, surprisingly, ask for the ball consistently. It's crazy. I mean, especially Antonio Brown. Let's see what a full year of him sitting there, maybe not getting the numbers he's used to, 1,800 yards a damn season. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Does Brady truly keep them all thinking eye on the prize? It's crazy. Let's switch it to running game. Let's get Rojo to 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I mean that could be where it could be balanced too. You could have Leonard Fournette, have 500 to 700 yards, and you could have Rojo with 700 or 800 yards like that. It just depends on how the flow of the games are going to be going. I could see it where we're running the ball a lot in the second half because we have a 2-score lead or something like that, where we're just running the football to win games. And that's where these guys get a lot of their yards. So, yeah, definitely possible for Rojo. He was so close last year. I thought he should have got it. But, it just didn't happen.
Well, then he missed 2 games because of COVID too. So if he was playing the whole season, he would have had it.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's very much possible. Rojo getting 1,000, considering if he has one game like he'd had against the Panthers, that almost 200-yard game, it is very possible because people are going to be scared, thinking, "Oh, it's going to be all these weapons." There's going to be 20-yard chunks he's going to be able to get consistently, I think, because this offense will be firing left and right. So it very much could be possible. I like this by Furukawa. I think Mike Edwards will be a lot better and earn more snaps. He did last year too. So what's your take?
Yeah, I think Mike will be definitely more consistent. I think he'll be improved. So
yeah. Well, let's do one more because it's getting near the end. But Campbell, Winston did throw for 5,000 yards. Just saying, could definitely happen with Brady. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see. I mean, Brady threw 40 touchdowns last year. So I mean, I could definitely see him, reach that 5,000 mark. And you have 17 games, so the stats are going to be more. I think even more crazy. You're going to have more passers with 5,000 yards on a regular basis. So yeah, I wouldn't put that out of the realm.
That's sad too, because I mean, Breeze has all those records right now. Now there's a whole bunch of more skewed numbers.
Yeah. And that plays to your point of 3 1,000-yard receivers. I think it's definitely more possible now.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. it's a numbers league, and there's going to be a lot of numbers thrown around. Let's be
Crazy
honest.
stats. I mean, you're going to see 2,000-yard rushers too, like more often. I mean, Derrick Henry, I think, could get it more consistently now. So it's going to be fun to see. It's an offensive league, that's for sure.
They play to it. I mean, that's what gets you to turn on the TV and watch, right?
Yep.
All right. Other than that, guys, thank you for the show. We're always here every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I love the chat. I love all y'all getting involved. Seeing new names in there, always fun. And yeah, catch us every Monday. Plus, take us out.
Yeah, guys, like Mark said, again, appreciate you all joining us. Give us the likes and the subscriptions. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. There's a lot of great content on Real Bucs Talk. We have all the rookie class film studies done. Now we're going to get into last year's team and really break it down. So it's going to be Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Godwin, etc. Defense, we're going to break it all down of Shaq Barrett, JPP, how these guys work. So a lot more to come. So thank you guys for staying and tune with us and just being a part of what we have coming for the foreseeable future. So we're really excited about it. And with that said, everyone have a great night and go Bucs.